UFC Fight Night, Dorada versus Allen's upon us, and this card's all right. I don't really care for Canadian cards. I'm not Canadian. Canada doesn't have the best fighters ever, but honestly, the card's pretty all right. And I went 10 for 12 last week. A little bit disappointing. I wanted to go perfect, so I said I'm gonna improve every card. So now I'm gonna have to go at least 11 for 12 in picks. I did do some research. Not extensive, but I did do my research, and after further review, 11 for 12 minimum is definitely a possibility. Starting off with the fight that we all care so much about. Melissa Croden, who's a Canadian making her debut in Canada. Surprise, surprise. Versus Tainara Lisboa. I definitely said her Brazilian name wrong, but let me tell you what I know from this shorty. She's an LFA fighter, the Canadian girl. She's all right. She loses some, she wins some. I swear she lost the last fight. I could be wrong. I'm not fully sure. But what I see from her film is nothing of like crazy skill. Now, for what I've seen from Tainara in the UFC, has been nothing crazy as well. Like, I haven't seen anything, oh my God, she's going to be the next big thing. They both kind of suck to me. And it sucks that they're going to open up the card. I know I've said in the Brazilian card, when in doubt, go Canada. I'm the opposite way in this card. When in doubt, don't go the Canadian. I've seen the Canadians get swept like on their card one time. I also seen them like damn near win every fight, but something about Canadians, they just don't develop crazy fighters, guys. I'm not trying to hate on Canada, but for this fight, I don't think the debutant, who's Canadian, is gonna go in there and beat Tainara. At least Tainara has some UFC experience, some fights in the UFC. She's a little bit more experienced. Croden's gonna come in there and she's gonna fold to the lights, and I think she's gonna lose her debut. So give me the Brazilian to beat the Canadian to start the card. Canada's going 0-1 immediately. I like this fight, because non-casuals know this is Azamat Bekoev, I hope I said that right. Yeah, there's no way I could butcher that name. Versus Alex Perez, training partner. 1-1 MMA professional record. This guy trains with Alex every day. This is Alex's closest training partner. You see him in every video. You probably recognize that face. But Azamat Bekoev, man, he's been a problem, and I can't wait for him to melt through Perez training partner. I'm not even gonna call this guy Yorzi or whatever, but this is Alex Perez training partner, and Alex Perez training partner is gonna get melted by Bekoev just because, not even because he doesn't look that good. First of all, from what I've seen, he looks tall, he stands tall, he has good reach on him, he has good height on him. But his fight style is gonna be too pretty, or he's going to attempt to look too pretty against Azamat, who I feel like is just going to bring that pace and kind of break him. Bekoev's striking is really good. His grappling, from what I've seen, like the small of it I've seen, he looks really strong as well. Like, he can strike, he can grapple, and he could overwhelm someone. He doesn't look like he's someone who fatigues either. So I think Perez training partner is in for a horrible night. I got Bekoev by KO points. I think he's going to melt him and knock him out, or he's going to go to the decision and beat him by points. No matter what way you slice the cake, I think Bekoev wins. As a matter of fact, Bekoev by KO. I think he finishes this guy. It might be ground and pound, might be a knockout on the feet. He's going to have to get through like a little bit of a reach differential. But once he gets to that, he's going to melt this guy, brother. Beats on him, Dr. Dre. His bald head. Like, you're not Pereira if you train with him. This is what I think. I see you at Teixeira's gym, brother. You think you're good. Bekoev smash you, brother. Easy. Again, he's breaking the Russian over the Brazilian. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Let the comments come, brother. Let the comments come. Bekoev schools this bum. Bekoev's also really good. Keep your eye on Bekoev. I don't want to say future champion, but future contender for sure. Stephanie Luciano versus Ravina Oliveira. This is one of those girls' fights that's kind of obvious who's going to win, because we know both of them are probably going to keep it standing. And then Luciano's striking is just a lot better. She's a lot more high output than Oliveira. She's going to probably get the win on this one. Significant strike total is 5 strikes per minute, whereas Oliveira's 1, and Oliveira's not even that great at grappling. And she's gonna probably try to grapple Luciano, but I don't see her controlling Luciano for a long period of time. I think Luciano schools Oliveira. I'm not going to spend too much time on this pick. I think it's pretty simple. I don't even know the odds for her. I'm assuming Luciano is a pretty big favorite. From what I've seen from her, she looks a lot more promising than Oliveira. Kyle Prepolec. Bro, he has not won in the UFC. I kid you not. Every time I've seen Kyle Prepolec fight, I've seen him lose. I don't know if he has a win in the UFC. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. And then Drew Dober, like a punching bag too. Man, punching bag, when punching bag meets punching bag, we're just having a punching bag off, This fight's going to be weird because I feel like it's going to come down to who could take the most damage for a longer period of time. Drew Dober's not skilled, but he's a juggernaut. He's a marauder. And I feel like that's perfect for Prepolec. Like, that's perfect for Prepolec offensively, and it's perfect for him defensively as well. Like, it's perfect for Prepolec to go against someone who's just going to kind of emulate his style of just kind of going there balls to the wall, and who knows what's going to happen. I don't think Prepolec's good enough to deal with that with the Dober, though. So I do think Dober beats him. Don't even know if Dober KOs him. I think I might go Dober by points. Prepolec's probably going to use UD. He's just going to get outworked. Dober has been in there. He's lost, like, Dean Silva loss wasn't that bad, especially because he was putting it on Gene Silva with that pace and endurance. He didn't do the same thing to Prepolec, who's just nowhere near as skilled as a lot of the people Dober goes against. And hopefully Dober's CTE is not kicking in too bad to a point where he gets hit and dropped or something. But do not give Prepolec his first win. I swear this guy's never won. Maybe he has, but I haven't seen him win the UFC. But don't give this guy his first win in the UFC. Dober, we're counting on you. You know, strong chin, lock in. Shit, okay, bars. Hey, bars. All right, Danny Barlow, left hand from God or something. I think that's his nickname. Versus the Jourdain Santos, who's coming out. They're both coming off of losses. Danny Barlow kind of looked. I don't want to say he got exposed in his last fight, but he kind of looked like he looked lost in some aspects of his striking. When he doesn't look comfortable, it looks stupid to me. How did he lose again last fight? I forgot how that was, but. No, I gotta find this out. How did Danny Barlow lose? Oh, he went against Sam Patterson. I don't know how the hell I forgot that. That was a casual check by me. But yes, lost to Sam Patterson. Sam Patterson's a very long, rangy, precise striker. But the Jourdain is not as long and rangy. Barlow's gonna have the height advantage in this fight. He's gonna have that powerful left hand that he likes to glaze. Like, bro, he glazes the hell out of himself with that left hand. But it's for good use because he has power behind that. He's really hard to take down as well. I think it's going to be primarily a standing fight, and I feel like it's going to be who could outland the other person. Look at these guys' output per minute. You guys are going to see 7 strikes per minute for Santos, damn near 6 strikes per minute for Barlow. It's going to be a barn burner. We're going to have to see what happens. I do got Danny Barlow by KO or points. I'm probably going to say Barlow could catch him with something. The Jourdain might just come forward too recklessly and get caught with like a left hand. I think Barlow puts him out. But either way, it's going to be a good fight and good test for Barlow. Because Barlow had a lot of hype before the Patterson fight. So let's see if that was worth the hype or brother, who this guy? You know, let's see if it was worth the hype or not. But I think the hype's warranted to an extent because his hands are pretty solid. He has some good kick game. All right, Bruno Silva versus Hyung Sung Park, my Korean brother. No, I see. But let me say something, guys. Listen. I think Bruno Silva's a big underdog here, which I think is a little bit dumb. He shouldn't be this big of an underdog against Park. And it's because Park, although he's not bad, Park is nothing to be like, to ooh and ah about. He's good. He has good BJJ. You know, his striking's all right. He is coming off a loss. Both guys are coming off of losses. I think Bruno Silva's last loss was Joshua Van, though. I could be wrong. But I remember I even picked him to beat Joshua Van. Dude, I always get that comment. Dude, Kenny picked him. Now Kenny thinks Joshua Van. Yeah, I learned my lesson. Like I said, Joshua Van was going to lose and he won. I was like, he's a future champion. Because Bruno Silva's sharp, man. And can Park, like, I think, you know, this is an underdog pick. And it's going to be being going against my South Korean brother. You guys know my South Korean brother. These guys are my brothers. And I say, yo, kamsamida, shibal. All those words, these are Korean words I use every day, brother. So, it's going to be tough. But I think the output on the feet, both of them are really good at it, you know. And I think Park might want to get to the fight to the ground eventually. But then again, Silva's pretty good at that defending as well. It's going to be a close fight. I just don't think the odds tell the whole story. I'm pretty sure Park is not going to show on this website. But I think Park's a pretty sizable favorite. And I don't know what it is of me going Bruno Silva, even when he's an underdog. But I'm going Bruno Silva to beat Hyung Sung Park, my Korean brother. I have to. My gut's just really telling me. I really believe Bruno Silva's going to pick his shots a little bit better. I don't think Park's going to overwhelm him with volume like that. Like, Silva did get kind of destroyed by, like, Van, but Van just a different type of, it's a different level of thing with Van. Even Manil Cap did his work on Bruno Silva, but those are good strikers, dynamic, a lot better than Park in my opinion. I'm going to go against my South Korean brother. I'm going Bruno Silva, the underdog for the win. You know, this is one of the underdog picks. Not the only underdog pick I'm going to have on this card, so keep your eyes open, but give me Bruno Silva and forget. Notice how I said that's not the only underdog pick. Davy Grant's an underdog against Charles Jourdain. Charles Jourdain's game. He's always going to be game. He has good striking, pretty well-rounded. I think his brother's better than him after seeing his brother in Dana White Contender Series. But Davy Grant, you know, they forget, man. He was an underdog in his last fight as well. I told you guys Grant's going to get it done. He got it done. I think he gets it done against Charles Jourdain. The thing about Grant, I think he did that to Blackshear, by the way, because Blackshear, I knew Blackshear was going to fatigue. Jourdain does the same thing. He has like a really strong start, and I feel like he starts to slow as the fight elongates, and that's the worst thing for someone like Davy Grant. Davy Grant's not spectacular, but he's a marauder, and he picks his shots well for a marauder. It's going to be a battle of high output, but I think Davy Grant's just that guy. He has a well-balanced core of everything. But honestly looking at Charles Jourdain's brother, like recently, because I saw him in the Dana White Contender Series recently, it makes me think he's getting better too, because his brother looks so much better than him, honestly. But I think David Grant's marauder-like presence is going to outdo the Canadian in front of his home crowd. David Grant's hard to get out of there, even if you hit him flush. Charles Jourdain is probably going to try to have a masterclass, but after the first round, after he kind of schools Grant in the first round, he's going to slow, I think. I think he's going to slow. So give me in 2 underdog picks back-to-back. This could be a risky card, but give me the underdog pick again in David Grant. I think he upsets Jourdain in front of his home crowd. One thing about Canadians, they find ways to lose in front of their home crowd. This is no different. I think David Grant with the upset against Charles Jourdain. Now to the main card. Okay, this is gonna probably end under 1.5. We got Kyle Nelson and Matt Frevola. Those boys are gonna be swinging in that first round. Now, this fight's weird because I think either guy could get knocked out. Frevola is such a steamroller, but when you're the steamroller, sometimes you get your steamrolled. Hey, Sheba, he might be one of those fights for Frevola. Like, it might be back and forth, but who's going to land the first significant strike? Because I feel like momentum's everything. I just hope one guy or the other isn't, like, on the back foot. I hope Frevola is not, like, backing up immediately and giving Kyle Nelson too much respect. I think Frevola can get him out. I think I might go Frevola by KO. I think he gets him out. I think if he pushes the pressure on Nelson, the Canadian will break, Both guys are coming off of some bad L's, but I do think Frevola out of the two, if they're going to have that dogfight that I really expect them to have, I just have a feeling that Frevola is going to pull it through. So give me Matt Frevola by finish. And yeah, I don't know. I think this is like a pick 'em odds thing. So it's a close fight regardless. But yeah, I'm picking against the Canadian again, bro. Canadians they find ways to lose, and he's going to find a way to lose a steamroller. Steamroller could also get chin. So it's a risky pick, but I am going for Frevola. All right, Cody Gibson versus my Chinese friend who I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to try. I'm going to call him Leng. I'm going to call him Aoriqileng. I tried, so I wasn't trying to butcher it. Yeah, this fight's interesting. I think the Chinaman... Okay, I sound like Strickland. I think the Chinaman... Lang is... From what I've seen, he has some good... I feel like all Chinese fighters have good output. That sounds crazy, but I feel like that... They either have really good grappling and low output or really high output. I feel like he's the one with really output. He's like the ones with good output out there. And so does Cody Gibson. But I think Cody Gibson picks his shots a lot better, which is going to result in him winning this fight. I got him by KO or points. And I think he might chin him, though, because I feel like he might come in a little bit too reckless against Gibson, and Gibson's going to find that shot, put him down. Also, Gibson has a decent amount of wrestling that he could use if he needs to. I don't know if he's going to need to, because I feel like he could pick the shots right and land cleanly on Lang, and I think he gets him out of there. But it might be a close fight in that aspect prior to someone getting caught. But, brother, give me Cody Gibson and forget. I got Cody Gibson winning this one. Okay, this fight's interesting because I think this fight's the easiest pick on the card. We got Manon Fiorot, who lost for the belt recently, and Jasmine Jourdain. She always wins. She's on a winning streak. She has crazy momentum. This is the easiest pick ever probably the easiest pick on the card. Manon's getting this done. The French girl is getting it done. The French is getting it done in Canada. No French-Canadian jokes here. Just the French gets it done in Canada. She's just so much better than Jasmine. Jasmine's really good output. She's really durable, but the sheer size of Manon, I don't think people understand how big this girl is. She's big, she moves well, she strikes well, and her grappling and her body lock and her strength is low-key underrated. She might not look that imposing, but when she sizes up they're both 5'7", but I tell you the size of her back, just the strength of her, she's gonna be a lot stronger than Jasmine. I think she just outstrikes Jasmine and she does whatever she wants. And then Jasmine might try to grapple her, but it's not gonna be easy to take her down. She's kind of a brick wall with that aspect as well. So I think Manon kind of schools her. She looks like even Manon against Valentina, man. I had Valentina winning and I'm happy Valentina won. That fight could have went either way, because when Manon got her in the clinch, it was like she went nowhere. The size and strength was too much for her, and that was her in their 5-round fight. This is a 3-round fight, so she could put a pace on Jasmine and kind of break Jasmine, and I see that happening. Might even finish Jasmine. I don't think Jasmine's going to be that tough to weather that storm of Manon, so I got Manon winning this one. Probably the easiest pick of the card, in my opinion. I just think Manon's levels ahead of Jasmine. Not that Jasmine's bad. She's actually one of the better people in this weight class at flyweight, but she's not going to be as good as Fiorot, so I'm going the Frenchie to beat the Canadian. She bad. All right. You know how I say I was going to go underdog picks? We're going the other underdog. If you don't know who the underdog is in this Chito Vera versus Zahabi fight, Zahabi's underdog. Chito Vera, I've been saying, is the most overrated fighter in damn near UFC history. I don't even know how he's the favorite against Zahabi. Well, maybe I do. Zahabi's getting rocked by Aldo and all that. But Zahabi's better, Cheetos is not all that. I feel like Zahabi's not even great either, but he's better. And I feel like I haven't seen Cheeto in a long time, and I feel like he's just slowly digressing every time I see him in the ring. He's damn near disappeared, try to come back and beat Zahabi, who's just riding a little bit more momentum, a little bit more active. So I think Zahabi kind of schools him. It's going to be a primary striking fight. We'll see what Cheeto got. I always said Cheeto's overrated. I think Zahabi gets it done against him. This is not I swear, like Zahabi, Aljamain Sterling actually dropped a tweet or something saying like Zahabi's a couple wins like close to the title from Rob. Hey, shit, that's so it gives me the shudders. Like these people in the title conversation. Like, why is Ariel Helwani in the title conversation, bro? We don't need Ariel in the title. Bro, Ariel, we don't care, man. Like, yes, even when you beat Cheeto, it doesn't mean all that just because Cheeto's a former title challenger because Sugar gave him a shot when he didn't deserve it and he did nothing to even earn it. Fucking A, mate. Give me Zahabi, bro. He's going to beat Cheeto Vera, even though he's not that great. Cheeto just sucks. So, give me Zahabi. I think his striking is going to be a little bit too much, and Vera's going to fatigue and start staying still and being a punching bag as per usual. Zahabi beats him. Co-main event of the evening, Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott, and this is actually a close one, you know. And the reason this is a close one is because you never know what version of Kevin Holland you get, and you never know what version of Mike Malott you get. Mike Malott is the more precise striker here. He's going to land the more appropriate shots. He's all right at controlling people, but he has a problem. When he gets pressured, his gas tank tends to demoralize. As well as his emotions, you know. He starts to slow down. He starts to look worse. I'm trying to find a balance. I'm trying to see if Kevin Holland could be the guy to pressure him and bring that side out of him or not, because I don't really know if Kevin Holland could bring that side out of him. You know, Kevin Holland's a little bit more loopy with his punches. He's overwhelming, but he throws. He'll always throw, even when he's tired. He showed against D-Rod. When he's tired or hurt, he'll still throw. He'll still go. It's the toughest fight of the card. Just because literally anything could happen in this fight, bro. I know Kevin Holland's a slight underdog. I think Mike Malott's a -130. Kevin's like a +108, something like that. It's very close odds, though. It's just like, I always tell myself, never bet on Kevin Holland. I have like that statement to myself because I just feel like Kevin Holland's so unreliable, you know? Mike Malott lost to Magny because Magny was like in the third round, I got to put some pressure on him. And then that's what Magny did. And he broke him with the pressure. Kevin Holland doesn't really have that like pressure urgency. Like Kevin Holland's okay with just like jumping in and out. And if he's going to try to make it a pretty fight, Mike Malott wins. He really does. That fucking superhero looking ass boy over there. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? You fucking, hey, Shibai. Don't play with me, brother. I don't know, you know. I literally don't know. It's like down the middle. I feel like my intellectually, I'm saying go Malott because Malott's more reliable in this fight. And if it's a point fight situation that Kevin Holland likes to get into, he might lose. Well, he will lose. But if Kevin Holland like grows a pair and tries to go for it, he could even land a fluky thing. But I'm just trying to envision myself, bro. Like I just don't know. This could be the fight that makes me not go fucking perfect. This is a hard card to go perfect on. I'll say that. Fuck, I hate this pick so much. Dude, dude, I don't know, man. Because I said before this video, when I click the video, I'm going to know in the moment. I don't know still. Okay, close fight. Like, from a stylistic standpoint, I have to say Malott, you know. I have to say Malott from a stylistic standpoint. But my gut's telling me Kevin Holland. I'm following my gut. I got Kevin Holland winning. I'm moving on. I'm going to change my mind. All right, main event of the evening. Fuck! Does Kevin Holland actually win? Who cares? It's over. I just said Kevin Holland. He's so losing. All right, anyways. All right, Kevin Holland. All right, anyways. Renier Dorada versus Brendan Allen. Of course, Brendan Allen steps on a short notice. It's supposed to be Anthony Hernandez, which would have been so much better and more entertaining. I'll be real. I don't care about this fight. It pisses me off a little bit more. I am happy to see RDR here. Now, I will say this. RDR is still going against a really good grappler. Matter of fact, a better grappler than Hernandez in some aspects. Hernandez is more like he works. He's like a hammer near the nail. He continues just to beat you. Pause. Yo, don't ever look at me like that again. Pause. Like he beats you though. Like he sees. Okay, I gotta stop. Okay, he just breaks you over time. Whereas I feel like Allen's like ability to scramble and like force things with his BJJ is really impressive. To the point where I'm a little bit like, I don't know. But like the weird thing about the rider is that even on the feet, he's so awkward and just like overwhelming. His presence is overwhelming. This is a 5-round fight too, and I've seen Allen fatigue. I think it'd be stupid not to feel like RDR gets him again and makes him fatigue. This is close though, you know. But it's close in the aspect that if the rider gets on the ground, it can be similar to like the GM3 situation. GM3 gave him a really hard fight because GM3 understood what to do on the ground when he's getting controlled with his BJJ, and he was strong physically, and he's a big dude naturally. So is Brendan Allen. But I just really think what makes the rider so annoying is that his knees on the feet and like how overwhelming he is in his presence. I really like this guy, man. I gotta go to rider. I think he breaks Allen. I thought he was gonna break or beat Fluffy as well. So It'd be stupid not to think he does the same or not worse to Allen. So give me the rider, man. I think on the feet is actually going to be the difference maker here. The ground might have some crazy scrambles that both guys end up on top and start winning it. It's not going to be domination if the rider gets him down like he does with some of these other guys. It'd be a lot more competitive. But on the feet, Allen's a pretty striker, but I feel like the rider's constant like overwhelming and just coming forward and forcing clinches are going to over time break Allen. It's on short notice for Allen, man. Tough ask in Vancouver on short notice. So I think the rider gets him done. I think he does it. I think he might finish him, you know. He might break him before the final bell because this is a 5-round fight. Give me the rider. My official pick is the rider KO points. If I had to pick one or the other, I'll say the rider by... Okay, I feel like he's a finisher, isn't he? Give me the rider by points. Give me the rider by points. I feel like he gets it done by Allen. He does it in points. If I said a parlay right now, I'd go the rider, Zahabi, and Manin Fiorot. That would be my 3-leg guaranteed parlay that I know is going to hit. Oh, and Bekoev. Oh my God, I have the best 4-legger. Bekoev. Give me Azamat Bekoev. Give me Manin Fiorot. Give me Zahabi. And give me the rider. That's 100% going to hit. Thank you. You're welcome in advance for the money you made. I hope I win 100%. Some of these fights are close, but I'll settle for 11 for 12. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's it for me. And God bless. 2, 3, 4.